What's up gamers, welcome to my new video guys. In today's video I'm doing something that a lot of you DM me to do, and you were writing in the comments, you were sending me DMs to make a tier list of all weapons in War Robots, but this one will be for light, medium and heavy weapons, so all the weapons will be here guys. And you can find down below timestamps. If you just want to see medium weapons, just jump to that. If you just want to see light weapons, you can jump to that, and as well for the heavy ones. So this is my opinion after the update 7.0 and after all the changes guys. So let's start with the tier list. So the first weapon that I will be rating is Punishers. Punishers are not exactly the bad weapon in the lower leagues, to be honest. So it can be played, it's not useless, like we have here one of the tiers. So I would put with this one not good or playable. Sometimes I even see it in some Champion League players running it. So you know what, I will put Punishers into a playable category. You know why guys, I have to explain you. Because they have a huge DPS, that's not a secret. But they have a problem with the reload time, which is 10 seconds. But they have 500 meters range, and they are really extremely cheap, guys. So let's say that it's in playable category. The next one would be Spiral. Oh my god, Spiral honestly for me is not in good category. It's almost unplayable because it has a 12-second reload time, but it has a 600 meter range, but with the 12-second reload time and low damage, it's honestly not good. At least for me it's not really good. Pin, the next weapon that I will be rating, I can put it into a not good category. It's not useless, but it's definitely not good. If it's maybe good in some really low leagues when you are just starting guys. It has it has 1420 damage per rocket, 500 meter range and 12-second reload time. But for me, I don't know, it's not effective as it should be. The next weapon is something that that many of you sometimes like, sometimes don't. It's really hard to say about this weapon to rate it because it's been in the game for a long time. It's Magnum. Magnum has a 350 meter range, and it can shoot continuously. So that's one thing which is really interesting guys. So I would put this one into a playable category because from time to time I even see it in the upper Champion League. I personally wouldn't run it. I don't recommend you using your silver on it and gold, spending on it. But it's really cheap weapon to get, cheap weapon to upgrade, and it's not that bad. I don't know, but I personally wouldn't be running it. But I have to say how it is right now. So the next one is Molot. Molot is 800 meter range weapon, 10-second reload time, but it doesn't have a decent damage. So at this point, for me, it's useless. To be honest, this is really, for me, it's useless. I don't know. Maybe some of you guys will not agree with me, but I honestly don't see this to be useful. Aphid. Aphid, for me is in a not good category because it's used only in really low leagues. It has 350 meter range. It has a 10-second reload time, but for me personally, I wouldn't be running it. So, guys, that's my judgment. So, the gecko in today's game, it's something that is let's simply say gecko is outdated weapon. This weapon is totally outdated. For me, it goes into a useless category. It does have 1100 meter range, but it has a 11-second reload time and it doesn't have a good damage. So for me, definitely it goes into a useless category. The next weapon that I'll be next weapon is Piñata. What to say about Piñata? Piñata will be going. I don't know. I think that it goes into a not good category. It has 300 meter range, but it has 15-second reload time and it doesn't have that much of a damage. So for me, it goes into a not good category. It can go into a useless category because still in lower leagues, like I say, in really low leagues, it's useful. The next weapon is Noricum. Noricum definitely goes into a useless category because it's totally outdated. This weapon was created for robots when they were to fight robots which were bulky and slow. And today's meta is always more and more speed with robots, so it's really, really hard to hit with this. It has a 15-second reload time and 1100 meters range. But for me, it goes definitely into a useless category. The next weapon would be Arbalest. Arbalest has also a 1100 meter range weapon, and it has a 6-second reload time. But for me, I don't know. It simply still goes into a useless category. At least for me, I don't know. I know that everybody has his own opinion, but for me, it definitely goes into a useless category. The next weapon would be Gust. Guys, we all remember Gust meta. It was crazy meta, shotgun meta. With the Gusts were one of the most powerful weapons in the game. Honestly, most powerful weapons. At this point, they have a 9-second reload time. It doesn't have a good shoot interval. It's really good if you use it, for example, as a burst weapon to quickly fire, and then run away. It's on some robots, on some certain robots, it can be useful. For example, on Loki, it can be useful in some situations. But people are really dish this weapon because it got few nerfs, and it was honestly it was kicked out of meta. So for me it goes into I don't know. For me even Magnum is better than it. It goes into a not good category. Once again, I want to say this is my personal opinion, guys. It doesn't have to mean that you are not having different opinion. Everybody has his own opinion, but this is my opinion. Next one would be ECU. ECU shield can be really useful in today's meta, to be honest, especially if you are fighting against some energy weapons or maybe, I don't know, machine guns as well. It can be really useful. So guys, I would put this one into a playable category together with the Magnum. And so the next weapon which we are looking at is Sting. I don't know why, but I never liked Sting. It has a 3-second reload time, 600 meter range. It's not that bad of a weapon, but it has also a damage over time effect. So I can't say that it's not good, but let's put it, for me, this one goes into a playable category. It can go above, at least for me, I don't know. Like I said, it's my personal opinion, guys. You can have your own opinion, of course. The next weapon that I'll be ranking in this rank, I will be Spark. This is the light version of the Scourge. It has 600 meter range and 5-second reload time, and it has a really decent damage. So I would say that this weapon can go into a good tier category. The next weapon would be Volt. Volt is definitely not a bad weapon. It's one of the new weapons. The positive side of this weapon, that it's one of the newer weapons, guys, like I said, and it can only get buffs. It will not get any nerfs for sure. It has 800 meter range, it has 8-second reload time, and it even has some decent damage, guys. So I would put it into a good category, only because it's a new weapon, it has decent damage, and it has a really big range. The next weapon would be Shredder. There have been many talks about Shredders. Shredders got a big nerf and everything. But still, in this category of the light weapons, I can't say that it's a bad weapon. It's definitely not a bad weapon, guys. So I would put Shredders, at this point, I would put Shredders at least in a playable category. Please note this. I'm putting it at least in a playable category because they are a lot better than, for example, Magnums. But let's put it into a good category. I'm sorry, let's put it into a good category because still for me it's a good weapon. It has a lockdown, it has 5-second reload time, it has 500 meters range, so it's a decent weapon. If I would have to put this in one category for 100%, it would be something between good and playable. But because in playable category we have some weapons which are weaker than the Shredder, I will put Shredder into a good category. The next weapon that I'll be rating is a Quaker. Quaker got a huge nerf. The positive side of this weapon is the energy weapon, so it negates answer shields, for example. So it can be really useful. It has 500-meter range and it has a decent damage, but the problem is overheating, and the problem is also that it got buff regarding nerf. Sorry, it got nerf regarding its shot interval, so it's not deadly as it was. But still, this weapon can go into a good category, at least for me, guys. In the category of the light weapons, it's really honestly not that bad. It's not the best, but it's not bad. The next weapon that I'll be ranking will be Halo. At this point, what would I say for Halo? For Halo, definitely it goes into a playable category, at least a playable category, because it got some buffs. But I'm sorry, before I put it into some higher category, I really need to see how it performs on the live server at this point. I don't think that it will make a comeback. I honestly don't think it will make a comeback, so that's why I will put it into a playable category. It's a decent weapon, don't take me wrong. It has 500-meter range, 9-second reload, and it has a lockdown, so it is a decent weapon. But after so many nerfs and after some problems, it got some small buff. But at least for me, still it's in a playable category. The next weapon that I'll be ranking will be a Blaze. Blaze is 350-meter range weapon, 5 seconds reload time. So what do I think about Blaze? I think that at this point Blaze is meta, guys. Because combined with some other weapons, like for example, if you're combining it with Ember on some robots, it can be really effective. It can be effective. Definitely really effective on shell and against shells. If you're running this shell setup, every other shell will be running away from you, guys, because with this weapon you are able to inflict huge damage first, then it implements all the effects. If you're running some effect chips, for example, like freeze, suppress, lockdown, so it's really good. At this point I really consider it to be a meta. Marquise is the next weapon that I will be ranking in this category of the weapons, light category weapons. It's a 600-meter range weapon, 12-second reload time, so for me it goes into a good category, guys, and I think I'm not wrong. Honestly, I think I'm not wrong with this weapon, because if it's combined with some, I saw some people running it really successfully on Hawks, for example. If they combine it with the Dragoons, I saw that they are really annoying at 600-meter range and they can really deal some punch. And I honestly think that there will be some changes regarding shell, because shell at this point is absolute meta at this point in the game. So there will be some changes, definitely, guys. Expect that. Don't build too many shells, because I think it will get change. It's not me that I want it. Don't take me wrong, please. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying anything to Pixar. I'm not saying anything, but I'm just saying that that's my opinion. So the next weapon will be Rhyme. Rhyme is a 300-meter range weapon. It has a freeze effect and 17-second reload time. But still, guys, definitely I still think of this weapon like a meta weapon. Because, for example, if you are running it on the Hawk in combination with Glacier, it's really deadly, extremely deadly. So the next weapon that I'll be speaking about here is Scatter. Scatter is a light version of the Sonic weapons. It has 200-meter range. Recently it got a nerf, but still with that nerf this weapon is really strong, because you can't heal the damage that it inflicts. The next weapon is Magnetar. In the light category weapons, I think honestly that this weapon can go into a meta category, because it has a 600-meter range, it has a 5-second reload, it has a decent damage, and it has a lockdown. And also it can inflict effects, like I said, for example, freeze, lockdown, suppress, really fast. The next weapon will be a new Fireball, light version of the weapons. And I'm going to put it into a meta, because you know why, guys. This is the new weapon. This weapon cannot get nerfed. It can only get buff if Pixonic thinks that it underperforms. So if I was on your place, I would be upgrading this weapon and trying to get this weapon. Now, let's go into a medium weapon category. Let's jump there. Let's continue with the tier list, guys. Now we are doing a medium weapon tier list. I will be starting with Punisher T. Punisher T, like I said, for light versions, it's honestly not that bad. It's honestly not that bad, so we can put it into some playable category because it's for me. I see people running it in the Champion League. It means that it's not that bad. It does have 10-second reload time. I would love Pixonic, if you are listening to this, please buff this weapon. Buff this weapon because it's really cheap, it's really hard, it's really easy to upgrade. It would help a lot of free-to-play players. And for me, it goes into a playable category. I'm sorry for all of you who don't like it, but I honestly don't think that this weapon is that bad. The only problem is the reload time with this one. And it got some nerfs in the past, but it could be really good weapon if you lower down that reload time. Pixonic, come on. Now we are coming to Molot T. Like I said, Molot T, it doesn't have a good damage. It does have 800 meter range. It does have 10-second reload time, which is really long. But 800 meter range weapon, it's really good, but it doesn't have a good fire rate and it doesn't have a good damage. So for me, it goes into a useless category. I'm really sorry, guys, but I'm not a fan of this weapon at all. The next weapon is Orkan. Orkan is really hard to put into any tier, to be honest. For a while, Orkan was crazy absolute meta, guys. Honestly, it was a huge meta at some point, and everybody was running it, especially on Haichis, for example, when Haichi was meta. Or on Spectres, it was an absolute meta Orkan Spectre. But at this point, 300 meter range weapon, but it's 20 seconds reload time. Where would I put this one? I would put this one into, I don't know. Sorry, but for me, it's in a not good category. I really honestly think that's my personal opinion at this point. I was running it, I was loving it, but at this point in the game, it's in not good category. The next weapon that I'll be rating is Hydra. Hydra is definitely, for me, useless weapon. I don't like this weapon. I hate campers with it because they can hit you. They hide behind the corners and they can hit you wherever you are. These missiles are tracking you. It doesn't have a good damage. It has a huge reload time of 12 seconds. It doesn't have a good damage. But it has 600 meter range and it can be only irritating. If there is an irritating category, I would put it in here. It's not, you can't say that it's totally useless, but it's in the irritating category. I don't like it and I'm sorry, I'm rating it not good. Talambas for a while were a really good weapon. Guys, especially when it was a Spectre meta and the bots were not having a lot of HP, so it was easy to take down a robot. But at this point, when we have resistance and everything in the game, this weapon is going into a not good category. I'm really sorry. It does have 500 meter range, but it has 18 seconds reload time. Come on, it's really long time. The next weapon that I'll be placing is Terran. Terran goes definitely for me at least into a playable category. At least in a playable category, guys. Don't take it wrong for me, but I can't put it above. I think that it goes in the medium weapon tier list. It goes into a playable category. Definitely playable. Maybe it's even more. Guys. If you have it, it was really cheap to upgrade. It was really easy to get. But at this point, if you don't have it, I wouldn't be investing in it. I honestly wouldn't be investing in it. The next weapon that I'll be rating is Ballista. Oh my god, Ballista. Where to put this weapon, guys? This is one really hard choice to make. Really hard choice to make. But at this point, Ballista, I would put it into something between useless and not good. But there is definitely, it's going into a useless category because you can't see people running it at all. It's not good. I wouldn't recommend anybody to invest his silver or especially gold in it or his time to grind it. Definitely no go. ECU Shield. ECU Shield, like I said, can be really useful in today's meta, guys. So I will put it at least into a playable category, The next weapon is Storm. Oh my god, Storm, it was crazy meta. Like I said, in the period when Gust was meta, the Storm was really crazy meta, guys. That weapon was crazy good. It has 500 meter range, 10-second reload time, but at this point, for me, it goes only into a playable category. I'm sorry, Storms, you got a lot of nerfs, a lot of nerfs. So, for me, at this point, playable category. The next weapon, Ion. Where to put Ion, guys? I don't see any Ions anybody running, to be honest, at least not in Champ League. Even in the lower leagues, it's not that much. It's not, I don't know, I wouldn't simply invest into this weapon. It has a 5-second reload time, it has a 600 meter range, but for me, I don't know, it's simply not my play style, but I see some people would use it, so where would I put it? I would put it something between playable. Hey, let's put it into a playable category. Come on, let's go. Let's put it into a playable category, because from time to time, as I remember now, I saw some people and they were really like irritating with this weapon. It's not that bad, but I don't recommend upgrading it, to be honest. Wasp weapon, oh my god. Wasp, guys, is definitely not bad in today's meta, especially. I see people running it on Typhoons really successfully. It has 600 meter range, but it has a 12-second reload time, which is kind of a bummer because it ruins this weapon. It has also damage over time, but it has some decent damage. So this weapon I would put into a good category, to be honest, at this point. So the next weapon is Vortex. Vortex is so fun to run. Once it was a crazy meta in the period when Orkan was meta, Tulumbas, Spectres with Vortex were crazy meta. But at this point, where would I put this weapon? I would put this weapon honestly into a not good category, because I don't want you to invest in it. It's not good. In the higher leagues, you will not see people running it, because simply it's not good in today's meta. Bots are too fast for this weapon. The next weapon that I'll be placing right now and speaking about is Weber. Weber is a railgun, like I said. This is a medium version of the railguns. It has 800 meter range, it has 8 seconds reload time, but honestly it's not that bad. So I would put this one into a good category, because I don't think that Pixonic will ever nerf this weapon, because it's kind of a newer weapon and it can only get buffed. And if you are a sniper, this is a perfect weapon for you. If you like sniping, this is perfect weapon for you at this point, guys. Corona, oh my god, we have a newly buffed Corona. Corona was never bad weapon. Even after the nerfs, it wasn't that bad, because it has a 500 meter range. I know that it's not effective. It's effective up to something like 200 meters, 250 meters. It's not effective about that, but it has also lockdown chance, and it has 9-second reload time. It's a lot more now at this point. It's a lot more burst weapon. It fires really fast, and then you are waiting for this to reload. But for me, I would put at least this weapon, at least playable category. Some of you will say that I'm making mistakes, some of you will say it needs to be higher, some of you will say it needs to be lower, but for me it goes into a playable category. I'm sorry, guys. Pulsar. At this point I think that Pulsar can be put in meta, guys, because this weapon is honestly not bad. If you're running it on a Typhoon, it's really not bad. I don't know, it's hard to say it's meta. It's not the best meta, but if you are considering other medium weapons at this point, guys, this weapon is really not bad. It has 600 meter range, 5-second reload time, lockdown effect. It also inflicts effects if you are using, for example, chips for freeze, lockdown, suppress. It will really fast implement those effects, and if you are running this setup on your Typhoon, it will be really useful and really annoying for your enemies. What do we say about Igniter? Igniter is definitely meta at this point, guys. It's definitely meta because we are facing a lot of shells at this point, which are shielded robots, and it simply negates physical shields. It is crazy good against physical shields. Also, like I said, it can implement effects like freeze and suppress really fast. It has 350 meter range and 5-second reload time. So what's the next? Next is Hussar. Hussar, where to put this weapon, guys? It's 600 meter range weapon, but with its 12-second reload time, oh my god, it's really hard. You know, when I'm placing these weapons into some tier lists, into some tiers, I'm considering the robots which are currently run. And at this point, I don't see Hussar that effective, to be honest. I would put Hussar into some playable category, even maybe in a, I don't know, even maybe in a lower category. But at least let's put it into playable category, because I expect maybe that Pixonic will think about buffing this weapon. I don't know, guys, I have that feeling, so I will put it into that category. The next one is Scourge. What to think about Scourge? I see a lot of people running Scourges. And also in the higher leagues, and they are not doing that bad, guys. That weapon got nerfed, yes, we all know that it got nerfed. But it's 600 meter range weapon, 5-second reload time. If something happens and the meta changes from the shells, which is currently the meta, I think that this weapon will be viable again, because it's not that good against physical shields. But if meta shifts to something else, it's really not bad, not that bad, guys. So what do I say? I would say for this one, at least at this point, it's in a playable category, guys. For more, we have to see it perform in future again. But it's not bad. If you have it, use it. But to upgrade it right now at this point, hard to say, boys. Next is Atomizer. Despite the nerf, despite everything, I still think that this weapon can perform good. It can perform good on robots, for example, like Typhoon. It can perform really good, so I don't know. I would put it at least into a... Is it in a good or playable category? It's really hard to say, guys. It's really, honestly, hard to say about this weapon. I still don't think that it's not good or something like that. I will put it at this point, I will put it into a playable category, considering the robots you're running it on, you have better options. For example, Pulsars at this point are a lot better option than Atomizer or your Typhoon. This weapon is simply like, for example, some other weapons. It's something between good category and playable category. Let's put it into a good category. It can be that the Weber is better than this. No way. I have to put it into a good category. I'm sorry, guys, if you don't agree with this, but this is my honest opinion. The next weapon that I will be rating is Shock Train. Oh my god, Shock Train was, like I said, it was for a while really crazy meta. It was a great weapon, but at this point it felt a lot behind meta, so I will put it into a not good category. I wouldn't invest any silver in it, gold, or any money especially. The next weapon that I'll be rating will be Cryo. So Cryo is a medium version of cryogenic weapons. It has 300 meter range, 17-second reload time, but it has a freeze effect, which is really cool. So at this point it's really good against, for example, shells. So I'm putting it into a meta category according. What can I say, guys? That's my opinion. I know that everybody has his own opinion, but I would be running these weapons, for example, on my Demeter. I see people running it on Demeter. And the next one is Havoc. Havoc is still a meta, guys. Despite the nerfs, it has 200 meter range, but it's great for brawlers still. You can't heal its damage. So for me, it goes into a meta category also. What can I do, guys? That's my opinion. And the next weapon is the Fireball weapon, new Fireball weapons. I will put it into a meta category. You know why? It doesn't have some crazy damage, but it has effect. It has a blow effect where you blow up and you are killing your friends around you. so it turns you basically into a bomb. And the other thing is that it inflicts effects really fast. And I saw people running it on, for example, robots like Typhoon, and they were really successful with this one, guys. And this weapon will not get nerfed, definitely, because it was just released. It can only get buff, guys. So this would be my medium tier list weapon, medium tier list. So now let's jump into a heavy weapon tier list. So now, guys, we are in the heavy weapon tier list. So let's start with the tier list. The first weapon that I will be ranking will be a Thunder. Thunder is, I don't know, it was meta once, but now at this point, what to say about this? 500 meter range, 10-second reload time, but it's not good in higher leagues. I would say not good. At some point it can be playable weapon, but guys, honestly, for me it goes into a not good category. I wouldn't recommend you investing it. It would be Trident. Trident, oh my god, that was for a while, that was really cool weapon, guys. At some point it was really cool weapon, but at this point, because robots are really honestly too fast for this weapon, guys. It does have 600 meter range, it does have only 3 seconds reload time, it does have decent damage, but at this point I would honestly say it's not good. For me at least, I don't know, everybody has his own opinion, but these weapons you can't see it anywhere in the higher leagues. That's why I'm putting it definitely into a not good category. The next one is Nashorn. What to say about Nashorn? It's horrible. It's really, do not upgrade it, do not spend your resources on it. It is level 100 meter range weapon, it does have 9-second reload time, which is a lot, boys. And it doesn't have a decent damage, so I wouldn't go for this one at all. Trebuchet. Trebuchet, what to say about Trebuchet? It's 1100 meter range, 23-second reload time. I would also put it into a not good category. At least for me, this is still in not good category. Change my mind, please. I don't see anybody running it in the higher leagues. Nobody, definitely. The next weapon would be Zeus. Zeus is a 600 meter range weapon. It has 5-second reload time. Where to put it? It's definitely not useless, but it goes into a not good category. Honestly, it goes into a not good category. Maybe in the lower leagues it can perform in some way, like for example Trebuchet or Thunder even. Thunder maybe deserves to be a little bit higher, to be honest. I'm sorry, I know that some of you will agree with me, some of you will not agree with me, no matter how I build this tier list. So for me, let's put Thunder even in the playable category, because at some point it can be played, but it's between playable and not good. It's between there. I don't have any tier list between. I don't have a tier between, so I will put it into a playable category. It can be in the same category with the Zeus, because Zeus is definitely not good. So the next one is King Day. Oh my god, King Day. King Day, you are going definitely into a useless category as well, because you are 800 meter range weapon, 6-second reload time, but it doesn't have that damage. It doesn't have that punch. The bullets are traveling too slow. They hit it, by the time they hit the fast target already run away. So guys, for me, not good. Ansel Shield wasn't bad. It was really cool at some point, but at this point when they released shield chips, it's simply not worth of that slot. I would put it at this point, I would put it into a not good. Let's say it's not in a useless category, but for me definitely is in a not good category. Avenger, that's a strange one. Avenger was a crazy meta back when it was introduced. 500 meter range, 10-second reload time is not that good, but it had a huge clip and it had a lot of damage. It was crazy damage, guys. But it was nerfed. Also, they nerfed the precision of the Avenger. They nerfed the damage of the Avenger. So Avenger is kind of lost, to be honest. But I still see people running it, and still see people upgrading it. So I would put it into a playable category. I'm sorry, but I can't put it in the other categories. For me, at this point, it's in a playable category. The next weapon is Zenith. 1100 meter range, 15-second reload time, but it has terrible reload time of 15 seconds, terrible damage, terrible precision. So this weapon goes into a definitely useless. It was interesting back then, guys, when the robots were really slow. But at this point, by the time you shoot, the enemy can already be next to you, and it was a kilometer from you, guys. So at this point, useless, definitely useless. Flux, oh my god. The Flux for me also goes into a useless category. I'm sorry, I never liked this weapon. And at some point it wasn't that bad, guys, but 1100 meter range, it's crazy, but you don't see people running it, you don't see anybody running it. So at least for me, it doesn't have a decent damage. It's not a good weapon at all, I don't know, it's really hard. Also, it's hard to target fast moving targets, so definitely not good. Chimera. Oh my god, where to put this weapon? I don't see anybody also using this one. It has 12-second reload time. It's really a lot. It does have 600 meter range, but I would put it into a not good category. At least for me, it goes into a not good category. Tempest. It has a decent damage, 800 meter range, but the 10-second reload time, it puts it below Avenger. I'm sorry, I can't put it in the same category with the Avenger. It goes into a not good category at this point of the game. At this point and in today's meta, it goes definitely into that category. Gauss weapon. Gauss weapon, I think that the Gauss weapon, you will say, why am I putting railguns into a good categories? Because railguns at this point, guys, are the best if you are sniper. If you like sniping, this is the best weapon for you, definitely at this point. So I will put it into a meta. I'm sorry, I'm putting it just because of that. Because if you are a sniper, you will not have some other alternative for this to be as effective as this weapon. This weapon is definitely effective for me. 800 meter range, 8-second reload time, which is not that bad reload time. It's not good, but it's not bad as well, guys. The next one is Exodus. Exodus is definitely moved up in the lists, guys. In some period it was really crazy good weapon, but then fell down behind meta. But at this point I would honestly put this weapon into a good category, because I faced few people running this one. It was crazy, guys. They were inflicting some decent damage on me. It's 300 meter range. It has a bad reload time, to be honest. 25.3 seconds to a full clip, and I would put it somewhere, I don't know, between good and playable. What do you think, guys? What do you think? Think, Zoxxx. Think. Where to put this one? I would put this one. It's better than Thunder. I would say it's effective as Avenger. I put Thunder there because, I don't know, some old memories, old times, boys. What can I do? I'm making some tier lists. Some weapons I have to be sentimental towards them. I love Thunder. But for Exodus, I will leave it in a good category. I'm sorry, but I will definitely leave it in a good category. What can I do, guys? Viper weapon is definitely not bad in today's meta. It's definitely not bad. For me, it's a lot better than Avenger. It has 10-second reload time, the same as Avenger, 500 meter range, but it also has damage over time effect, which is really good against resistance robots, and there is a lot of resistance robots in the game. So this one goes into a good category for me. The next weapon would be Avalanche. So Avalanche is 500 meter range weapon, 6-second reload time, and it has some decent damage, guys. I personally don't love it, but I see some people running it, and they're running really effectively. And it is also good, very good in inflicting effects from the chips, for example, freeze or suppress or lockdown. So I don't know, I would put this one into a, let's say it's a good category. Let's say it's a good category. I have to put it here, guys. I'm sorry, like I say, it's my personal opinion. So the next weapon would be Glory. It got some buff, as I remember. It got some buff. It's 500 meter range weapon, 10-second reload time to a full clip, and it has a lockdown effect. So this one, where would I put it? I would put it at least into a playable category. That's my personal opinion. It goes into a playable category. The next weapon is Thermite. Oh my god. Thermite is definitely going into a not good. It's not useless like some others, but it's not good, definitely. Don't spend your resources, guys, on it. It has 350 meter range weapon, 350 meter range, 10-second reload time. It has some decent damage even, but it's not good against fast moving targets. And in past it has many glitches when I was trying that, and some other people who were running it, they also told me it has glitches, so I wouldn't be running this weapon, guys. It's not totally useless, but it's not good, definitely. Ember, oh my god. Ember at this point is for me meta weapon, because I can see a lot of these ran on the shells just to counter other shells and the other shielded robots. So Flames meta is here, guys. If you have Embers, get your dust off them and put them on your shell and fight the other shells, definitely. The next weapon that I'll be speaking about is Nucleon. Now you will tell me I'm not a fan of Atomizer, for example, but it's totally different, guys, for every different slot in the game. It depends which robots are using it. Are those robots at this point meta or no? For me, Nucleon is not bad weapon. It's definitely not bad. Still, it's not bad on the Hawks, for example. I see a lot of people running it in Champion League, and it's not performing that bad. It got nerfed and everything. It's not as good as before, but it's still good weapon, guys. Dragoons. Oh, where to put Dragoons? Dragoons, I would put it into a playable category. It does have 600 meter range, but 12-second reload time. It doesn't have that huge damage like it was before, but it's still playable. It's still playable weapon, definitely. Redeemer, oh my god, at this point, Redeemer I think will make a comeback, guys. I definitely think that Redeemer will make kind of a comeback, and I still see people running it, and it's definitely not bad weapon, guys. If you have Redeemers already upgraded, try running them, because they are not bad. They are not bad against some robots like, for example, Demeter. It deals pretty nice damage in one hit, and I don't know, it's not bad. It's definitely not bad. 5-second reload time, 350 meter range. For me, I would still put it into some good category. I'm sorry, but that's my honest opinion. Calamity, oh my god, Calamity, 600 meter range, 5-second reload time. It has decent damage, and I saw people running it very successfully, guys. So I would still say for this weapon that it can go into a good tier. I don't know, I know that many of you will not agree with me, but for me this weapon is here between good and playable. Definitely it's around here, but I don't have that tier, and I will put it into a higher tier. Because for me this weapon is much better than the Dragoons, guys. I can't put it in the same category like the Dragoons. Next one would be a Glacier. At this point, Glacier is again back like meta. We see a lot of Glaciers being run on the Hawks, which are currently meta robots. We see Glaciers ran on the shells to counter other shells. So definitely this goes into a meta category, at least for me, boys. It does have 300 meter range, it has freeze effect and 17-second reload time to a full clip. The next weapon would be Devastator. Devastator, as all the Sonic weapons are, for me they are still all meta, guys, because you can heal the damage from them, and it's really good. The only robot at this point which can heal it is Demeter with the new pilot. So not many people are running it actually. There in the clans, in the squad battles, there are a lot of people running that. But if you are running solo games, there isn't that much people. Also, this weapon can be really good in free for all, definitely, guys. The next weapon that I'll be speaking about is Hornet, and at this point, I honestly see Hornet as a meta weapon in the heavy weapon tier list. Because it's 600-meter range, it has some decent damage. It does have problems with the reload because it's a long reload. Oh my god, what do I think about this? It's if you like sniping, Hornet and Gauss are definitely two weapons. So I have to put every weapon from every game style, if you want to say from every game style. This weapon is definitely good for people who like sniping. So I will put it in here, and also it's good against Titans because it has damage over time effect. So guys, it goes into a meta weapon. And the last one is Incinerator. Incinerator, I'm putting it into a meta category. This is a new weapon, guys. It can get worse, it can get only better. If the Pixonic sees that it's underperforming, they will buff it for sure. So believe me, if you have Incinerators, upgrade them. They are not bad weapon, 500-meter range weapon. It has a decent damage, it deals a decent amount of damage, and it also has effect that if you are accumulate after a certain number of shots, that target explodes and it damages the friendly robots around it. So definitely this goes to meta for me. And it also, like I said, it can inflict effects like freeze, suppress, lockdown really fast. So guys, this would be it for today's video. I hope you like this video. If you like this video, leave a thumbs up. If you're not subscribed to my channel, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell, guys. And in the comments down below, tell me what you think about this. Would you change something? Would you add something? Like I said, this is my personal opinion. It doesn't have to mean that it's same like yours. So, guys, see you in the next video. Till then, Zoxxx over and out. Bye bye. We dance.